Okay, got you. And then in terms of just like landing your job with the Chargers, right? What was it like really like persevering through that time of like the job search? Because like honestly, it was because it was like I guess like a year, like pretty much a
Oh
year
yeah,
after graduating, right? So a
yeah.
lot of people to graduate, they want to be working, within like the first couple of months, but like especially now, I mean, the job market's pretty tough, right?
Yeah.
So like, what was it like just kind of like having to go through that process of like you're sending in applications, you're writing cover letters, like what was that like for you, kind of until you landed with the job you have now?
It was definitely disheartening.
Hmm.
And yeah, I just like felt like a lot of the things I sent out wasn't even going to be opened.
Hmm.
So I'm sure like everyone or like a lot of people has felt this as well. But yeah, I just, wanted to set a goal for myself to like apply to a certain amount each week. But it was definitely hard because it's just hard seeing things not being responded to, like not even like a rejection email. Um,
Yeah.
I was like
Yeah.
never hearing anything. But I think because of that, it opened me up to different opportunities, like opportunities I wouldn't even have considered, like
Mm,
continuing to do like another internship after graduation or doing freelance. I feel
right,
like
right.
because of those experiences, I was able to use that in my resume and like further like maybe add a little more content to my resume that
Mm,
companies would be more interested in. So
yeah. Okay. No, I think that's great how you're kind of able to just kind of take the best out of the situation because it is pretty disheartening because it's like you're capable and
yeah,
then you just sending stuff out. It's like, dang, you're not even you're just gonna leave me
yeah,
on
they didn't even want to talk to us.
delivered, read, whatever it is, not gonna respond. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely is a grind just trying to land. And then it's another thing too to like even get an interview and then if
yep.
that job is actually even going to be like the right fit for you. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, definitely, it's cool that you were also kind of, staying open-minded with
Mhm.
what type of job you want to do. Because like for me, for instance, like I feel like I've always been on this track. Like I'm sure as you obviously like having
Mhm.
gone to school with me, like oh yeah, like a lot of my stuff is obviously like sports related. Like
Yeah.
since I was a little kid, I'm like I feel like I gotta work in sports, right? So
Mhm.
that was kind of like most of the jobs I'm applying to. But even at a certain point, I'm like, all right, let me start widening the field a little bit. Like
Yeah.
let me start looking at let me maybe we working in fashion, like whatever, I don't know, like marketing, ad, whatever, just to like see what else is out there. But yeah, I think it is always good to, especially in this type of field, to keep an open mind. But yeah, did you ever like see yourself working in sports, or was it just kind of like, hey, we'll try it out?
No, yeah, I never expected that. And I just feel like sports graphics I've always like really admired because, you see like all those hype graphics and like how
Yeah.
detailed they are. Um, so I've always seen it, but I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that.
Hmm.
Like I feel like I wasn't like Photoshop wasn't really my strength either.
Hmm.
And yeah, I feel like honestly, it was like just me applying to a bunch of stuff and like the job seemed cool and I was like, "Oh, like that could be cool. Like I could see myself doing that." Like I'm, never say no to like these different things. So I'm glad it worked out because if it weren't for that, I wouldn't even have been like, watching sports or like now I'm
Yeah.
a Chargers fan, you know?
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Bolt up, right? Bolt up. That's what you
yeah.
guys said. Okay, yeah, no, that's dope. And then, I mean, what's kind of been, I guess the biggest adjustment to like, having like this would be the first full-time job, right? Because I guess the
Hmm.
other ones were yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess like, what's been like the biggest adjustment, like just having like a full-time job now?
I would say like I feel like with internships, right, or like freelancing, there's like a clear end to like when things will end.
Hmm.
So I think working full time, I was never like I was never familiar with the concept of like I can work around the same people like for so long for like months or years. Like
Hmm.
that idea was so crazy to me because I've never experienced that before. But yeah, no, I feel like it's been really nice though because this is like the longest I've been in one role before, so I think I've been, getting closer with my coworkers and like, we're all familiar with each other and like learning from each other. So, yeah, I'm glad that I'm able to, be in this position where I'm able to like continuously like get to know people and also like grow professionally and like learn more design skills. Like, yeah, I'm really thankful.
Oh no, yeah, no, that's dope. Especially, I feel like the aspect of just getting closer with your coworkers and obviously, there is. I mean, I have you have been watching Severance. Obviously,
Oh
there's like that
yeah.
separation of work and then home. But I think it is cool when
Mhm.
you can have a little bit of a mix in there where it's like you're cool with your coworkers and then you can even hang out with them outside of work
Yeah.
and everything. But yeah, what's like your day to day like with the charges like when you come in, what do you do and then like yeah as you go throughout the day,
Yeah, I feel like it changes a lot depending on what time of year it is.
right? Like
But
in season versus out of season,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I feel like in season is a lot more chaotic. Like my role specifically, I'm more of like a partnership designer because they brought me
Mm-hmm.
on because they needed someone to help design like their pitch decks and like, come up with different structures for their presentations. But I'm also on the creative team, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
also doing other tasks like doing social posts, helping out with like stadium graphics or other ads that they need help with, doing logo stuff. So it's just been a bunch of random projects on the side. Um, and yeah, I would say my day to day right now would be, I guess, like working on the occasional like pitch deck that I would have to work on. That would take up like, a good amount of time in the day, and then I would also work on different creative graphics. Um,
Mm-hmm.
recently I've been working, or I don't know if I should say, or I'll just like, yeah, I've been working on
Yeah, you
like
think yeah, yeah.
like I've been working on my more creative graphics lately,
Okay.
um, which has been cool. I work a lot in like Illustrator. I did
Okay.
some drawings before to like bring into that. Just a
Hey,
lot
there we
of
go.
different projects. But yeah, I feel like I'm really fortunate to have a manager that is open to like different people in the team doing things outside of what they typically do, and like
Mm-hmm.
as long as we show interest in like other projects, like he'll keep us in mind and like assign it to us, or
Mm-hmm.
it's very open, and we can do a lot of different things, so
Yeah.
it's been really fun.
No, that's dope. Because even like as someone that's been kind of following like a lot of like just the NFL social media teams, like the
Hmm.
Chargers are easily like I mean I'm sure as you can probably just tell being there now like
Hmm.
they're up there in terms of like the best social media teams even just from like kind of like the not that they're like unserious but obviously like
Hmm.
they post a lot of like funny content,
Yeah.
but then not even beyond like the type of content just like the quality of content like the kind of like the system that you guys have for your graphics is like the image
Hmm.
treatment to me at least is super dope. And I mean I'm also a little biased. I love like blue is my favorite color, so like
Yeah.
the Chargers blue obviously is a really nice color to work with. I mean even yeah now I mean I'm with Columbia so I get to work with Columbia football, so I get to work with blue as well, which is a
Hmm.
lot of fun. But yeah, is there anything about the job that you'd say like kind of like surprised you when you as you've like been in it?
I would say what surprised me the most was how everyone works together so often, like, or like
Mm,
throughout like different departments and different teams, like we see the same people all the time, and it's a pretty small company, so everyone knows each other. um you can kind of, you always happen to work with like a lot of different people, especially when you're in the design team. So yeah, I feel like that's a really cool opportunity because it always keeps things interesting, and like
mm.
there's always like new projects to work on. And I never expected to be able to work on so many different things and like work with so many different people.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely. It's like there's gonna be a lot of interaction because like everyone kind of needs each other to
Yeah,
accomplish.
definitely.
Because it's almost like as if like you're the actual football team, where everything kind of has to work together to
Yeah.
accomplish the goal. But